only purpose of man's sojourn on this earth is to seek God.
Conscious death is Samadhi. If you can learn to die consciously, like when you're passing out of your body and you're going to die, you can be aware that you are passing out of your body. Your body is lying there and you have moved out. But normal death is the body goes to sleep and you go to sleep with your body. Like every night, you should not be afraid of death. Death is a losing of one's identity. So every night we are dying. But we are so stupid that we forget that we are not the body but the soul, which we just learnt last night in sleep. That time we were not body. In a dreamless sleep, when you have no dreams, your Atma comes out of your body. And your body is there. Every day you learn the lesson कि मैं देह नहीं मैं आत्मा हूँ, मैं देह नहीं मैं आत्मा हूँ. And how many times have you slept since you were born? And still then we have not learnt the lesson. We know it happens, but we cannot retain the memory of us being separate from our body while we were sleeping, of us being conscious of our body while we were sleeping. That is what is to, you have to remember. And who is God? Who is the God within you? Leave alone the cosmic God. Who is the God? अपने में का भगवान कौन है? The witness is the God within you. Sakshi. But there's no other thought in your watching. Two children are playing and you're doing this. And one child hits the other child. No reaction, but you're just witnessing. That witness is God watching. What if you say, oh my God, just let me go on this thing. Then the mind, the buddhi gets involved and you go and stop the fight and all. So usually because of the close proximity and the purity of the mind gets purified. You know, it has a lot of vasana of tamogun, then it has bhavana of rajogun, you know. And then when only sattva gun is left, the mind becomes the ritambara mind, the bearer of truth, and it reflects the Atma. And in the reflection, when it reflects the Atma, it thinks itself to be the Atma. This is the heresy of mistaken identity. You understand? Very clear, no? Different language, I'm not using a religious language, but and when you mistake yourself for the Atma, that is your ego. The buddhic ahamkar mistakes itself for Atmic consciousness. When the buddhi mistakes itself for the Atma, that is the heresy of mistaken identity. Now when will this identity, when the buddhi becomes as pure as the Atma, then it merges into the Atma. When the buddhi becomes pure unto the likeness of the Atma, but not as pure as, that means the difference between the Atma is light and electron. When the electron becomes light, then the Atma, Buddhi and Manas become one. Father, mother and son become one. So this is what I have written in the Patanjali Sutras, where it says, when the Atma becomes as pure as the Buddhi, then the desirelessness of the Buddhi releases its grip of wanting and meanness and minus, and releases the Atma to go into its own sphere. But it still has a mistaken identity. It can see the Atma but through its mind, the Buddhic mind. So the Buddhi, which is composed of electrons, has to be dissolved before it becomes the light of Atma. Some people told me use the scientific terms because it makes it very concrete for people to understand. You know, you can know what the electron is, you can see the light of the torch, so you can connect. Because if you say Atma and Buddha, it doesn't mean anything. You have to bring it down, give the concrete example.